Hey, hey, hey. Hi, folks. I'm here. Just bear with me as we try to welcome some of our guests in just about a few minutes, all right? So welcome, guys. Good evening to all of you. It's my pleasure to be hosting yet another evening of virtual community dialogue, as we call it. And tonight we have, you could call it a serious discussion, but it's something very informative. If you have young people, if you have children, you have nieces and nephews who could benefit from a skill that can give them a lifelong profession or career going forward, it's a great time for you to share this with them. So I invite you tonight to share the live, tell somebody else about this discussion. Hi, Jose, I see you over there in St. Vincent. I'm sure what we're about to discuss, you probably know a little bit about, or maybe a lot about Jose, because I'm sure St. Vincent already has TVET and CBET and so on. Hi, Merkwan, it's nice to have you. Welcome. Our guests are already, three of our guests are already here, and very soon you will see them. And very nice to have you, Merkwan. Thank you for being here tonight with us. So, my name is Cesarina Paul. I don't think I needed to introduce myself, but I'm doing that. And you can call me Cez. Everybody calls me Cez. And this is the number, maybe 11th edition, you could say, of yeah, Jose, you said yes, that you know of TVET. So we're going to have a discussion about this tonight because Dominica truly wants to head in that direction. And not just Dominica, but especially our own division, the Youth Development Division. And so I want to waste no time, but I want to ask you to invite somebody else to join the live tonight. We should be live on the Youth Division's Facebook page, as well as on my own Facebook page, Influences, and on my YouTube channel, Influences as well. So share the live with somebody else so that they too can come and join this very important discussion tonight. As I was saying, if you have a young person in your home, if you have a young person, your niece or nephew that you know about, this is for you and for them because they can benefit greatly from what we're about to do tonight. All right, so stay tuned because in just about a little bit, I'm about to usher in my guests and hopefully one more will join us, but I see so far we have three of them and that is good. And we won't be wasting any time tonight. We have quite a bit to discuss in a little time, you could say. So because time is precious, I know, and it's a Friday night. So welcome. Share the live, tell somebody else, as I often say, so they can join us tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna welcome my guests. I see we already have one and two. Cici was here. I'm hoping that she will be here in just about any time from now. But Cici, if you can hear me, yes, your mic is muted, Cici, but hopefully you should be with us quickly. So hi, good evening to you, Mr. Roach, Mrs. Annette Lestrade,
Hi.
and Cecilia. Say that again. Good evening to all of you.
Hi.
Welcome.
Good night, Miss
Welcome.
Paul.
What was that? Cici, you're freezing a little. I'm not sure why. I hope you can hear us well.
Me too now.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Great. Well, I can hear all of you loud and clear. You all look nice and bright. It's Friday night. I don't understand how you're looking so bright. What's going on?
That's the reason why we are looking bright. It's Friday.
Friday, right?
Okay, well, that's probably why. But I also think it's a bit of youth as well. I think all of you are young, and so you have that youthful energy, and that keeps you looking good as well. Yes. So I see Nadisha is saying good night to us. Yes, Nadisha, Nadi, welcome. Hope you're safe over there.
Hey, Nalisha.
Yes, and she knows you, yeah.
Yeah, hi, Nalisha.
All right, we also have Merkwan who said she's tuned in. So good night to Merkwan. Yeah, and my friend here in St. Vincent who said that she knows about TVET. That's Jose Huggins in St. Vincent who knows about TVET. So I'm sure we will have a good discussion tonight. So we are here tonight and we want to waste no time. I thought one of the best ways that we could probably usher in our discussion is to play a little bit of Cecilia's Cecilia,
presentation?
yes, a little bit of her evaluation yesterday. It's not
No.
high tech recorded. It was from a cell phone. I was at the back of the room, so let me just tell you, folks, I was at the back of the room, and I decided now I want to catch a little bit of what you were saying, and so I did. So I want you guys to listen, give a little bit of listening to what Cece had to say. Just let me grab that technology as I should, and then I will be able to do that. So here goes. Here we go. Hope you can see.
Yep.
Yes, we can see.
Can you hear? Because it's a little low.
It's very low.
I think it's a bit low. Volume failing. That's funny. All right. Sorry. It wasn't too loud. I'm sorry. I hope you could hear something. You heard something?
Yes, we
Yeah,
could.
the volume kind of failed me a little bit, but anyway, I'm hoping that the folks could at least hear and see something. What Cece was doing here was kind of giving a little bit of what she got out of the training that we just completed. So before we even go to the training, however, I wanted to first of all give you all the opportunity to let the folks know who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. John Roach. He's my boss. That's all I'm introducing him. He is my boss. So Mr. Roach, he's the Chief Youth Development Officer, and he has been at the Youth Division for, I can't tell you how many years, so he will tell you. So Chief, can you tell the folks a little bit about you and your involvement in youth development over the years? And we will go from you to Miss Annette, and then of course Cece, in that order. So take it away.
Right, good evening to our viewers and our listeners. Good evening to the other members on the panel. And I want to thank you for inviting me to this very important program. And to be honest, I'm already fascinated by what I see. It's amazing what technology
Yes.
does, and this is so great and so timely, when we are trying to fight with the new normal.
Mm-hmm.
I have been at the Youth Development Division for 31 years. I remember that I started actually Tuesday next week will give me 31 years at the Youth Development Division.
31 years.
Wow.
Tuesday next week, you mean when we have staff meeting?
1st of September.
1st of September. See, we are going to celebrate. Staff meeting.
So it has been a very long journey. I mean, but prior to Youth Development Division, I worked as a school teacher. I taught at the St. Mary's Primary for some 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Before I became chief, I worked as youth center manager at Granby, the very first youth center manager for Granby. This was followed by working as a youth officer for the South for about 7 years or so. And then I went into the youth skills training program, where I think I worked for another 7 years as youth skills training instructor. And then coordinator of the Dominica Youth Business Trust for a number of years. Actually, I played a very important role in the establishment of the Dominica Youth Business Trust, the whole development of the initiative, to where it is now. And I do it is now celebrating 16 years. So,
Yeah, 16. Yeah.
So it's in 2012, I took over from Mr. Pascal as chief. So the past 8 years.
Time flies, man.
So I've really, dedicated my life to working with young people, developing young people. And it's something I will continue to do even after retiring from the public service. In fact, my goal really is to set up a charity that will be looking at particularly the at-risk youth and disadvantaged young people. Really what I want to spend the rest of my life doing after I have retired from the public service. So what probably has inspired me to continue doing what I'm doing is people like you, Cesarina, people like Cici, and of the youth development division generally, and even those who were before me, in terms of the level of mentoring I got from them. In fact, I think I didn't choose youth development, and I think God chose me to really do in that area. And I have not regretted not 1 second of working at the youth development division. And I'm very happy to see the level of motivation.
Sorry, can I interrupt you a little bit? Your volume is a little fluctuating. Yes.
I don't know why.
So no, and then we hear, and then it drops a little.
Yeah, all strange.
No, much better. So if you sit uprightly, then maybe we might hear you better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope you all heard everything I said, right?
Some of what?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I intend to continue that path, and as I say, to make sure that the young people of Dominica. I mean, I've worked with young people outside of Dominica, as far as India, and so I've really learned a lot, and I intend to make sure that whatever I've learned is passed on to those who are involved in that field.
Yeah. Thank you, Chief. All right. Thank you so much. And of course, congratulations. 31 years is a lot of years to work in a youth department and to make, and I'm sure over the years, there are so many lives. Yes, CC is giving you a clap there. So many lives that you have. Yes, thumbs up indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Mrs. Lestrade, you have come on board, and folks may be wondering, but youth division, how come she's so? I know maybe you can eventually you'll tell them why, but just give them a little background about you, your level of expertise in customer relations, etc. Go right ahead. Yeah.
All right. Good evening, everyone. And Good evening to all our listeners as well. It is really a pleasure for me to be here tonight. I mean, if somebody had told me 2 years ago, after I had retired from Scotiabank, that I would be here doing this, I would have said no. Although when I left, it was because I wanted to do something that I really enjoyed doing. And previously, I used to work with Carnival Queens. Even when I lived in St. Kitts, I used to work with some youth because they have a lot of youth programs, and so they would choose people from the private sector to sort of mentor youth and also to deliver programs during the summertime and so on. So we did programs on financial management and things of that nature, which I always look forward to and enjoyed. So it was, as I said yesterday, it was really just God's calling. That's why I'm here today. Because when I left Scotiabank in 2018, returned to Dominica. So let me give you a bit of my background. I'm a former banker. I worked in banking for over 30 years. I worked with one bank for about 30 years, and I worked with two other banks prior to me going to study for about 5 years, 2 and 3. So all my working life has been in banking.
Okay.
So I took early retirement in 2018 and returned home. People were asking me, "What are you going home for? You just had a hurricane." But I just wanted to be back home because I felt that I had done so. I had worked like almost 12 years out in the field because I worked 6 years in the region, the OECS, St. Martin, Barbados, and then 6 years in St. Kitts. And I felt I wanted to come home. There's no place like home.
Amen.
And yeah, when I got home, I thought what I would do is work with small businesses because I felt that there was a need for them. Because of my work in the bank, I realized that they needed a lot of support with their bookkeeping, they needed support with their customer service training, their marketing, because some businesses would go under not because they didn't have the expertise, because they did have the expertise, but because of those other ancillary things that really puts a business on the map. But then, even if you have the skills and you don't have those other things, it won't work.
All
So
right.
I decided to dedicate myself to that, and I also got certified as a money laundering specialist and financial crime specialist as well, so I could further support even people in insurance companies, all the regulated sector under the financial services unit. So it was something that I thought I could do hand in hand. But I also wanted to work with youth because when about maybe 2 or 3 months after I got to Dominica, I was at Campbell's. I think I mentioned to you. And whilst there were some young people, because that was just after the hurricane, so people didn't have their computers and their printers and all these things readily available. So a lot of people were at Campbell's printing stuff and so on. And I met this young lady there, and I felt drawn to her because she seemed out of sort. She had printed her application, and then she was just leaving. The lady who was attending to her at campus asked her whether she didn't want an envelope to put the application in because she was going to apply for a job. And she said, no, she's just going to hand the letter to the person. I'm like, oh my God, she needs help. So I
Yeah.
pulled her aside and had a little chat with her. So if you're going to hand the application in now, make sure you properly dressed because even if you're not going for the interview now, but you never know if they'll ask you to wait right away to do an interview. So after that experience, and I know that she wasn't alone, and I know that she was part of a family of maybe 5 or 6. Her mother had about 5 or 6 children, based on what she told me, and single mother, and she was looking for a job. She had completed college, and I was really happy to hear that she had completed college, and so was looking for a job so she could help support her younger siblings
All
and her
right.
mom.
So,
So I realized that she needed that support. So when I said, that is an area that I could probably support in, maybe go to the college or whatever, help people to prepare themselves for interviews and stuff like that. And then I met Mr. Packet online and
okay.
shared that with him. That
Before
was
you
my
go,
idea.
before you go there, I want you to
Uh-huh.
hold that thought for now
Mm-hmm.
because I see where you're going, and we will
Yeah.
get there. But I want
Yeah.
to allow Cece to kind of tell the folks a little bit about herself, and then we will come to the training that you're about to talk about.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Let's go, Cece. All yours.
Good night. Can you hear me clearly, Miss?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Hello,
Yes.
can you? Okay. So good night, everyone. Good night, Mr. Roach. Good night, Mrs. Lestrade. I'm very elated to be on this forum this evening.
Yes.
My name is Cecilia Christmas. I am the Youth Empowerment Officer at the Youth Division. I'm currently attached to the Western District. I am also the president of the Nature Isle Toastmasters Club. I know Miss Paul is going to say this is not the place to advertise, but the Toastmasters Club has actually empowered me with so much that I can empower others.
That's all right.
And being a Toastmaster, it actually empowers you. It actually empowers you. You have that self-development. You gain confidence. You can actually boost your self-esteem. And this is very important when you're working with youth because you can actually transform the lives of the youth with these qualities. Another thing, I am a child assault prevention officer. I assist young girls who have been abused, not just young girls, but young girls and boys who have been abused. We actually go to the families and console them as well as seek further assistance for these young children. Having a child abused in the home can be detrimental to their growth. And in growing up, knowing that you've been abused, then this is going to lower your self esteem. You're going to feel corner. You will not want to speak up because you've been abused. I am one of the advocates for these children who have been abused.
So you wear many
Also, I
hats.
am the acting vice president for the. I wear many hats. You cannot see them, but I do wear many hats. I
Okay.
am the acting vice president for the Business and Professional Women. This is also another humanitarian group where I'm the coordinator for the civic committee. We look out for our women. There are battered women, there are women with low self esteem, there are women who are just seeking to have a voice. We represent these women. So, being a part of the BPW, we are able to assist the women, especially the single
All right.
mothers, the expecting mothers, and so forth. We assist them so they can assist our children, and these children can be empowered to become more empowered preteens, I should say. Therefore, these preteens are the future of our society. We need to provide them with skills and knowledge that they can take on and inspire others. So, this is
So
just a little bit about me for now.
all right. Thank
And
you.
I will say more as we speak about the program.
All right. So clearly, we have three people who have been dedicated to people development for the last how many years? We can say 31 years because if we put Miss Annette's experience, Mr. Roach's, and even yours, Cece, it will add up to a lot more than 31. But we're gonna say 31. So a lot of years of humanitarian work by each of you individuals. But tonight we're here specifically because we want to focus on something that people may have heard up thrown up in the air in Dominica and maybe throughout the region. And sometimes they are just acronyms, TVET, CBET, and everybody's wondering, what are these? They even sounding like Creole with bet, Creole with bet is animal in Creole, and so on. But what are these? And I want to start with Mr. Roach because Mr. Roach, just about 2 months ago, your entire staff was given the direction, I want to call it, and the directive to go ahead, thankfully through our ministry, to go ahead and to follow what is called the CBET certification course, which was competency-based education and training program, where we could become certified in being able to deliver to our young people. Can you tell us why this and a little bit more about CBET from the perspective of the youth division and also our ministry, the Ministry of Youth Empowerment and, of course, youth development and everything else that follows this long, long name that we have these days? Go ahead.
This is Well, as you know, Cizo, everything evolves. Things
Yes.
will remain static. And education is very important. And by education, we don't only refer to academic development of our young people, but as well as our technical and vocational development.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just like, for example, many years ago, you could only hear about GCE, you know, so
Yes.
when you've completed secondary school, then you want to sit with GCE,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we know at the time. Then the Caribbean decided that, well, you know, GCE is British based. So that was the form of validation for persons who would have completed secondary school and attain a certain level of competency, coming back to the term competency, by which the public service and certain institutions in the private sector would use to determine somebody's qualification for certain jobs. And
Yeah.
we use competencies, and it was very much academic based. Then we had, this was followed by, I think, in the 1980s, CXC, the
Mm-hmm.
Caribbean, together and decided that they want to localize their competencies at the academic level in terms of looking at CXC, which is Caribbean examination. And then this was, and all these have always been academic based. If you remember a few years ago, we used to have the junior secondary program, which was again, and in fact, I remember when I went to primary school, you had something called school leaving certificate,
Yes. Yes.
and that you would get for completing primary school.
Mm-hmm.
So those also had their exams and also had their competencies. And then you would also remember there were teachers in many, many years who never attended secondary school, but because of their level of competencies or well they did at the primary school,
Mm-hmm.
immediately upon completing primary school, they got a teaching job.
Yes.
And it was again based on their performance at the primary school level. So
Mm-hmm.
that is what I mean when I say that you see the evolution of education, of qualification, and you know, throughout. But we for some reason we were always, you know, basing our or benchmarking our qualifications, let us say from Britain, and later on maybe some other influences like the American influences and so on. But the Caribbean now had to identify or had to decide for themselves what are we looking for in terms of competencies for our own professionals and so on. Hence the importance of not just academic but technical and vocational development.
What we call tech folk.
TechVoc, right. So you have now established within the region what we call the TVET councils. So each of the islands will have their own TVET council, which is again technical vocational training and councils. So in each island, although they were guided by the Caribbean Association of National Training Authorities, which is CANTA, or
Mm-hmm.
they were guided by these, but each country
Mm-hmm.
had each jurisdiction had their own way of localizing it. But then there was something called assessment. So whatever assessment happens in Dominica has to be validated within the region.
Right.
Has to be the same. You have to have that level of standards that has to be across the island. So you have what we refer to as the NVQs, which is the national qualifications,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the CVQs, which is the Caribbean
Caribbean. Yeah.
qualifications. But basically they all at the same standard. But
Mm-hmm.
what you have is, for example, the Dominica TVET Council would be the body um, to certify the NVQ for Dominica.
Yeah.
Okay? But you have persons now who have to attain certain competencies to be considered as assessors.
Right.
Not only the person, but also where the training is being done also has to be certified.
Yes, yes.
Then you also have the instructors who are instructing, who are tutoring the young people, have to be
Have to be
certified.
certified. Right.
So across the board, that level of certification and assessment has
Mm-hmm.
to satisfy the institution that yes, these persons have attained what we are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
The youth skills training program has been in operation for over 40 years.
Yeah.
And then for those years, we have always been talking. In fact, from the time you had the establishment of CBTs and NVQs, that we have been talking about moving to that direction. Although our certificates, the certificates that we offer, the graduates of the youth skills training program, although that certificate is well recognized nationally and it is
Mm-hmm.
well recognized in a number of countries because we get
Yes.
feedback from our young graduates whenever they travel. Actually, some of them ask for replacement
Certificates, yes.
and so on. But we are not satisfied with that level of certification. So that is why we are moving to the to ensure that all our programs, all our modules at that level of the PVQs and the NVQs. Hence the importance of the CBET training program that we are expecting.
All right. Thank you. You gave us quite a synopsis, quite a history, a background where this all came from and why we want to journey into getting our young people to be certified at a level where they can take what they have grasped and go to any other region where the TVET standards are accepted or are recognized and be able to get a work, be able to work. So I think this is really wonderful. Miss Annette, you are not a staff of the youth division, but you were about to tell us how you got into this training. I don't want you to make it a long historical one, but we don't have a lot of the time. But maybe you can tell us rather quickly how you
Okay.
got in, and you can also tell us how it has impacted you. And then we will go to CC, who will share with us as a staff of the youth division how as well you see the certification, CBET certification, and us getting to that point. How is it going to benefit you and the young people with whom you work? But allow me to welcome one of our guests who we anticipated, but he was MIA for a little bit, and here he goes. So we have gone a little smaller. Hi, Glenn. Welcome.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Glenn. Oh my God, it just disappeared. All right.
I
So
think
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
yes. So Miss Annette, can you tell us a little bit about how you got in and
mhm.
how this has impacted you as far as
I am not
and
sure
how
if
the
anyone
value
can
of it
hear
as
me, but the internet connection seems to be very unstable.
well. Okay, but we can
It's
hear you,
cutting
Glenn.
in and cutting out.
Okay, we can hear you. So just hang in there. Okay, just hang in there.
Maybe Caesarina, he can just shut off his video and his audio would be okay. Because
Um.
that
Okay,
way
I
we
can
will
hear
get
you guys
an-
a bit better now.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Go ahead, Miss
Okay, so yeah, so as I was mentioning before, I contacted Mr. Packet just by chance. It was really, I mean, something that I don't know. We just happened to click, and then spoke to him and told him that I wouldn't mind working with the young people because I'm into customer service training and I've been finding, just by being back in Dominica and dealing with the young folks, that maybe there's something I can do to support them. And then he mentioned to me, that was on a Thursday, he said Monday he's having this training. Why don't I come in and join and I can support them wherever I can in your various districts? And I was like, okay, no problem. He says, 8 weeks, you sure you can give? I said, 8 weeks, that's fine. And I will tell you, Cesarina, that has been the best decision I've made for
Wow,
a long time
that's great.
because I thought that I was completely certified as a trainer until I attended that program. Not only did we have an exceptional master coach, but
Yes,
in addition to that, the entire training, the fact and that is something that I guess a lot of young people struggle with. If you do not like academics and then
yes,
you can do other stuff, but you just don't seem to be able to get any kind of qualification so that you can move into that world of work immediately because they're not interested in anything else but just doing stuff with their hands or whatever it is. It could be carpentry, it could be because we need everybody. And,
Yes.
and then so that training taught me a lot of how you can empower young people and you can empower them, make them interested, make them independent, uh, reduce the fact that you have so many unemployed youth, right?
Yeah.
And also to help to grow the economy, as I mentioned to you before, small business. So I just thought it was an excellent opportunity, and not only the training, but when I met the young people in the youth division, I had no idea the stuff that was going on and the dedication, the passion that they have, the commitment that they have to their jobs. I mean, it's just I keep talking about it every day, every single day. When I think, and after I've had the training sessions from 9 to 1, I just cannot get over these young people in the youth division. They are just tremendous. I mean, it is just so I mean, it's just a joy. It is actually humbling too because I see the stuff that the conditions under which they have to work, some of them, and I am just, you would never know because they are so thrilled, they're so passionate about what they do. So that's how I got in, and I think I got in at the right time, and I'm really, really happy about the opportunity.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for sharing that. And you said that you're hoping that you told Packet that maybe you will be of some use to us. Well, I'm sure, and
Yeah.
I know my boss is going to agree that you will, Mr. Roach is going to agree that you will be of use to us. We have our skills training program, an element of it, which is a key. Look, CC gives a thumbs up to that. A
Yeah,
key element to our skills training program is the social and related skills aspect,
exactly.
which are called
Exactly.
soft skills. But
And
these
I
are soft skills, these are hard skills.
Yes, and I guess that is where the door opened for me a little bit when I had that interaction with that young person. So I realized that there is an opportunity there to develop our youth, and a lot of them are interested. They're anxious. They want to do well. I mean, they're at the stage of their life when I guess all of us were at that stage at one time. When you leave high school, you're excited about the world of work, and you want to maintain that excitement because if you can, then what that means is that you will have a thriving economy because the young people are the ones that are going to take us into the future. So it just made a lot of sense to me.
Yes, Susan, if I can, you hear me, Susan?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm also hearing a little bit of a feedback. I'm not sure why. I see we lost Glenn. His internet probably got cut off, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to hear from him at some point. He's trying to get back in, and we're, his internet might go on and off. But Glenn, thank you for being there. Cici, I want you to hold your thought a little bit and allow Glenn a little bit of time to at least tell the folks who he is. And Glenn, you can go straight into who you are and also how the CBET training has impacted you thus far. Did you hear that? You probably had. Okay, go
I
ahead.
wasn't hearing before.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, good night, everyone. My name is Glen Louis, and I am the Youth Center Facilitator for the Northeast District. The CBET program has impacted me in such a way. Um, it is it is not what I expected that would have happened when I was beginning this training, because what this program did is that it programmed you to take a step back and first analyze what you are doing and
Yes.
appreciate what you are doing for the young people in Dominica. And I must say that the Youth Development Division is an amazing organization compared to
Amen.
what I have been.
Mhm,
Yes, it is.
mhm,
From what I have been seeing in the other countries that were a part of the video in the talking points, and just thinking that TVET is not something that has really and truly been established in Dominica. And then looking at what we have been offering to the young people, I got so much of a greater appreciation. And
mhm.
then I saw the need for the training and the need to get our young people up to this
That's
standard.
that's right.
Y- Yes, and it also programmed you to take a step back and look at yourself.
Mhm.
Mhm.
and really appreciate what you have been doing, because I can tell you from this 8 weeks training, I have even a better and a greater appreciation for my colleagues, because I mean I'm just seeing how we are a wonderful bunch of
Mhm.
individuals,
Yes,
and
yes.
the passion that exists among us. I mean, it is it is like a flu. It is very catchy. Once you find yourself there, I
Don't be
mean,
so
you get infected
happy.
with that.
We don't want anybody to die. So it's I
No,
just
no, no. It's the good flu, the flu that
okay.
does make you joyous.
Excellent. Excellent.
And I mean, the TVET program, it has opened up many doors of possibilities, and I
Right.
mean, I see our young people moving so far. And
Oh,
that is another thing that makes me appreciate it more, is that it gives them the freedom to go out and to broaden themselves, to
Mhm.
venture
right.
out. They do not have to remain within our island, It
All
gives
right.
them the
Not
freedom
that
to go
we
out and
Glenn, not that we want to lose them to another country, but we
no,
also
we
want to
don't.
make them marketable enough.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
What we saw was that, and Holia thought was that after Maria, and every all of you can probably attest to that, there's been the cry that we do not have sufficient people, skilled individuals, and the
Individual.
argument is that we do have skilled individuals, but the certification necessary in order to bid, in order to attract the jobs that
Mhm.
that they require within the country, they could not, and a lot of them still cannot do it because they don't necessarily have that certification
Have the
that
certification.
they need. And so, us moving into the direction of TVET and CBET certification, we're hoping that our young people can gain those competencies and be able then with certificates to be able to
Hmm.
bid for jobs and actually present themselves from entry level and to climb up to the highest level. But let's go to CC
Definitely.
for a little bit. And CC, you can tell us your experience of having gone through the training. Clearly, none of us is completely finished because we have our
Mhm.
assignments to hand in, our
Mhm.
portfolios to develop. But CC, how has it been for you? And most importantly, how do you see the young people of your district, of our nation, benefiting from that experience going forward?
The 8 weeks that we were engaged, I must say it was very challenging. It wasn't all a bed of roses, but having that zeal and that willingness to learn, it was very good, I must say. There were days I actually did the training from home. I did it from the resource center in St. Joseph or a few days in Roseau. And I realized not only having competence as an instructor, but you need to have empathy for these young people. I
Mhm.
placed
Yes,
myself in this situation while sitting in
Mhm.
the classroom, and I'm like, what will the young people think sitting in the classroom for 8 weeks or maybe the 4 months? How do they feel? How do they see themselves benefiting from this program after it's complete?
yeah,
And I decided in order for me to help them think positively, I needed to give it my all. So I tried my best to complete every reflection.
yes,
After every week, I did a reflection. I went back at what we looked at, for instance, the talking points. Our instructor, kudos to him. I must say he was very selfless. He placed
yes,
himself in that position to assist us. And he gave us one objective that he had was to affect our thinking. And at the
indeed.
end of the 8 weeks, indeed, we saw that difference.
So that's why
So
you
thank you
said
so
to him,
much, Mr. Durant, for that.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's why
Um,
you said to him that he
so I,
affected our thinking.
yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
we do.
I
Yeah,
particularly enjoyed the talking points in the morning. Mr.
Mhm.
Durant actually provided videos that had absolutely nothing to do with TVET, and we were supposed to have that critical thinking. And
Mhm.
yes,
I'm sitting there in the morning and I'm saying, okay, I'm before the classroom. What am I going to teach these young people? So I took this video and I actually turned it around and thought like a TVET instructor.
Wow.
So I must say these talking points, they actually contributed a lot to our critical thinking and to
Mm-hmm.
boost our level of confidence.
Mhm.
Because one would look at a video, for instance, he gave an opera video, and I know a few people don't like opera. But when you look at the video and you question it, you
Carla likes
say,
opera, and she's right there. She loves opera. So
exactly, hi Carla. Yes, so when you look at the opera video and you say, but what does that have to do with a woodwork
Exactly.
program or
that's
even
right.
a mechanical program or something like that? Then you have to go in there in that brain of yours and dig deeper and
Mm-hmm.
see it in a TVET light.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
looking at an opera, you can look at the organization, the time management. You can
Yes.
also look at the standard of the video. You can look at the teamwork, which is all incorporated in the TVET program. It's not just about coming in and doing woodwork, shaping up the wood, and say, okay, I'm getting a certificate at the end of the training. We look at the quality aspect of that. And
So, mm-hmm.
during a training, you should actually act like you're on the job and give it your best. So that's
Mhm.
what I did. I said I want to deliver my best to my trainees when I am actually the TVET certified trainer. So I actually took my training very seriously, and that
Mm-hmm.
actually broadened my mind and that actually made me see how much further I can go with these young people.
All right.
Sometimes we sit back and we think outside the box, but this training actually was the thing for us. So
Yes.
our
Mhm.
youth officers are now more empowered to go further and to
Mm-hmm.
actually impart knowledge to these young people to make them more competent trainees.
Mhm.
Right.
Definitely.
So we, all of us, you all and myself and the rest, maybe about 23, 24 of us across the board, we all receive this training and we have work to do. And Mr.
Mhm.
Roach, Chief,
Absolutely.
I know you have some expectations of your staff, but also we do not want to give the public the idea that we are we are TVET certified at this point as yet. Chief, how do you see us going? What is the direction, Chief, that you expect to see coming from the staff and also further the TVET Council in Dominica, Mr. Roach? How do you see us getting to the point where we can offer the young people of Dominica the certification that we're talking about?
Sizo, are you seeing me?
I'm seeing you, but you look frozen. But
I really don't know what is happening because I'm just in a blank screen. So
okay,
I
we are
don't know
seeing,
if it's from your end because from my end it's telling me that my camera is on,
right?
but I am not seeing myself
Well,
on
we
it.
can see what we're seeing of you is like a frozen picture, so I'm
Yeah,
not sure why.
something went wrong. So, but you're hearing me good. So
We're hearing you clearly.
that's the most important thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let me say that I was very happy to participate in the final day of the
Yes,
Mhm.
A20
yes.
program. And actually, yesterday, from at least hearing from the instructors and staff
Mm-hmm.
and Mrs. Lestrade,
Yes.
um, and also
Major.
from Mr. Duran and a little from his wife. When I came in, the wife had just ended a session.
Yes.
Just hearing, how people were impressed with the
True.
program, and then as I said, this is really it's an eye opener, and
Mm-hmm.
as I said, it's something that we've been attempting for a very long time, and we're very happy that we are now at the stage where we are ready to launch a pilot under the CBET program. I really expect the staff members, the instructors, and also my staff who are also involved in the facilitation of the social and related skill sessions before young people, um, to take the training to another level.
Mhm.
And I expect, what they would have acquired from this program will help them to prepare themselves better before
Yes.
interacting with the young people. So
Mm-hmm.
when you go there, you go better prepared, because young people come with all kind of questions and they have all kind of expectations. So
Yes.
you go prepared. And you would want to know at the end of the 16-week program or the 4-month program for the young people that you would want to know that their lives are transformed. And this is what your hope that program can do. The other stage that we will be looking at is the engagement of the employers, where these
Yeah.
young people will
Very
then be proceeding to go on a job attachment. Because we
Mm-hmm.
want to that the expectations of these employers are met. And we want to make sure that they themselves understand what it is that we are doing, so that when they engage a young person coming from that program, they know exactly what to expect. I mean, we have got that feedback from employers already, to the
Yes.
point employers actually tell us that they wish all the people employed with them would have gone through our program, because they actually see the quality of
Yes.
these young people going to the establishments.
True.
So I expect to see that the instructors in particular feel
Mm-hmm.
more confident in passing on their information to the young people. And that is what I really, this kind of expectation I
Right.
have. So as I am on that, let me mention that
Mm-hmm.
I think Annette is a godsend in this
Yay.
program. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we have been hearing how people have been lamenting on
Yes.
customer relations in
True.
Dominica.
Very much.
It's something I experience almost every time I enter, whether it's a public office or a private office, or go to a private establishment. Trust me, sometimes the people who work there feel like they are doing you a favor
Mm-hmm.
when you are actually coming and bring money for their business to keep them employed. So I think, and then we have been talking about revising our social and related skills part.
Yes. Yes.
Customer relations is one area we have been looking at including in that part.
Yeah.
So, Annette, be prepared. We're going to engage you, and we're really looking forward to enhance whatever we are
mm-hmm.
offering.
Yep. No problem. That's what I'm here for.
I agree with that, Mr. Roach.
Yes.
Miss Paul, I want to echo what Mr. Roach said,
Yes.
because having to do all these trainings, there are times you find that some of the young people, they might be attached to a business place.
Mm-hmm.
However, they may not become an employee.
Yeah.
They may go on to entrepreneurship.
Agree.
They need to have that level of customer service,
Mm-hmm.
customer relation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a one-on-one with Miss Annette, and I was telling her, I think more of our businesses need to have their employees trained in customer service. Too
Mm-hmm.
often you go to a business place and
Mm-hmm.
the customer relation is just terrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you go in for something and you go out without it because the attitude of the employee is not appealing at all. So I'm
Yeah.
very happy that we actually have her here with us. And I'm
Yes.
hoping that we can actually impart some knowledge to our trainees using
Mm-hmm.
her system.
I think she will. And Miss Anna, do you want
Yes.
to respond to that quickly? And then we will take Glenn. Because
Mm-hmm.
Glenn, I want you to, and you can think about it now, Glenn. Someone is asking, and Merkwan is asking us to explain or to tell the folks and why TVET, why CBET, why CBQ certification. What is in it for them as young people? So Glenn, you can think about that a little bit, and Miss Annette, you might want to respond to what CC and Mr. Roach were emphasizing,
Okay.
customer service, and how our young people can benefit from that aspect of the training as well.
That was actually when as I mentioned to you before, when I came back and I started my own little company, my focus was really more on financial compliance. But
Yes.
then most of the customers that I met were more interested in having customer service training because they realized that there's so much more competition today. And what gives them the competitive edge? The fact that they can offer customer service that
Yes.
is above and beyond what their competitors would offer. Because you see, as we always used to say in the bank, every financial institution you go to, offers you the same thing. They might call the loan a Royal Bank loan or Scotiabank loan or this loan, but it's a loan.
Yes.
What
Mm-hmm.
is going to cause you to go back to them is how their staff treat with you. And if you can get somebody to make you feel that you don't want to leave them at all, that is the place that you go back to. So even if they are a little more high premium, you'll go back because you're getting the service.
That's right.
At the end of the day, is how the person makes you feel. They
Yeah.
always they say Maya Angelou says that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you make them feel.
Feel
And,
true.
and, and if you build on that, it's easy to do customer service. But customer service really is key now because I
Yeah.
have done quite a bit of research and it comes back to customer service is key to the success of you as an individual because you have your internal customers that you have to deal with and
Yes.
Right.
your organization. So most
Right.
employers now are looking for when they're even hiring
Yes.
a customer focused individual is who they're looking for because they can always train you to do the job.
Right.
They cannot train you in those behaviors to the extent that it becomes natural.
Yes.
That's why we have to start at the youth so that it becomes something that they understand how that places them in a better position in the job market.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. So, Glenn, are you ready to give us a bit of response? What is in it for the young people?
I
Why should
am.
they look forward to CBET, TVET, CBQ certification? What is in it for them?
Okay, so to all of the young people listening, to all of my youth listening, let me
Yes.
tell you what is in this for you.
Yes.
One, you no longer are in a position where you know you have the skill and you are competent and you have the ability to go forth and do the work and do not have any proof. TVET and CBET will equip you, will bring you up to the level of competence and will present you with a document, a certificate that stands as evidence to
Yes.
show that you are more than certified to carry out that task, to get that job accomplished. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the amazing thing about this is that you can take this certificate. As Miss Paul said, we really want you to remain in Dominica. Let us build a Dominica.
Yeah.
But you can take this certificate, and based on the way that TVET and CBET is going, it is soon to be global, I believe. And
Yeah.
just imagine you have evidence that you can take with you around the world as proof that I am capable of doing what I am saying. I am I am certified in woodwork. I can teach a woodwork class for you, or I can come into your organization and bring knowledge into it. It empowers you and it gives you the necessary edge that you need, especially when it comes to the to employment and to marketing yourself as a skilled individual.
Yep.
One of the things I let me just reiterate. Miss Paul mentioned that the for example a lot of projects that is happening right now within Dominica, and we see a lot of foreigners working within these projects and less Dominicans. What TVET will do, it will empower you to become as certified as the individuals that we're bringing in, because that is the main reason why they are bringing in a lot of these individuals. We do not have
Certified.
Certification.
certified
Yeah.
individuals.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the major concerns
Are
that
we
we have
there?
these. Yeah, we're there. And
I
you're
lost
there.
you a bit.
No, you are here. We have you. We can hear you, Glenn, quite clearly. But yeah, but you were making a valid point that it's all about the certification. Now,
So
um,
if I can add
you,
on what Glenn
I
just
think
said.
it's frozen.
yes,
Really,
yes. Okay, go ahead,
He's
Mr. Roach.
frozen, but we can hear him.
Yes, but it's okay. Go ahead, Mr. Roach.
yeah, Glenn, what Glenn is saying makes a lot of sense. if you remember our focus in the youth skills training program, in fact, the program is referred to as non-formal youth
Yes, that's it.
training. And our focus has always been those low academic achievers. And we refer to our program as basic entry.
Yes, entry level. Yeah.
Mhm.
Are you there, Chief? Whoa, did we just lose him?
I believe so.
The internet is playing one on us tonight,
Yeah,
guys.
the internet is having some issues.
Yes.
But Miss,
But
I think they left out a valid point as well.
right.
There were before there were skilled workers. They used to
Okay,
go on jobs and they used to actually get less for their value. But with
Mhm.
a TVET or TVET certificate,
right.
you are actually going to be paid for value. So that is a
Yes.
very good thing about it. A lot of people ask you, what am I doing with a certificate? A certificate is not going to give me money. But with
Mm-hmm.
a TVET certificate, you can actually laminate that and wave it in your boss's face because he will pay you for your value.
Yes, indeed. So thanks for sharing that. One of the things Glenn also mentioned, he emphasized that this will be evidence-based. And truly,
Mhm.
I think one of the reasons, one of the things that the TVET approach towards training, CBET, that is competency-based education training, does is that every trainee will will be expected to leave the training with a what is called a portfolio which is hands evidence, things people can
Mhm.
practical things that people can see that that individual has been able to do over the duration of their studies, of their training, and also what they have done prior, probably prior learning that they have had
Mhm.
and prior experiences. Can any of you touch a little bit on the importance of a portfolio? Don't go too in depth, but how can the young people see a benefit in developing a portfolio in their lives or for their profession? And Mr. Roach, are you with us still?
I hope so.
Okay, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
you want to, do you want to continue what you were saying, and then we will talk about the portfolio?
Well, what I was saying is that with the introduction of the competency-based training, so we'll be moving away from what we refer to as basic entry skills,
Mhm.
Right.
and our focus will be now on competencies.
Yes.
So that is why in the program you have levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think up to level 5.
Yes.
So so persons will receive certification showing their competencies at certain levels and competencies in certain units.
Yes.
So, for example, an employer would be looking for persons with specific skills in certain areas. That would be highlighted in the certification of
Mhm.
the individuals. So
Mhm.
that's the focus. So then you may have somebody specialize in one area, and then that would be reflected on the person's certificate. And,
Yes.
and the other thing to it is that there will be no reason to question somebody's certification
Right.
after you have reached that level of certification. For example, the certificates we offer presently,
Mm-hmm.
somebody may ask the holder of the certificate,
Yeah.
how can you verify that you can do this? But whereas in terms of competency-based education training certification, is
Yes.
be different. It is more validated. So that is the reason why we really want all of our
So,
modules to focus in these areas.
Yes. All right.
and
Thank
the thing about it too, Cesarina, the fact that
you.
it
Mm-hmm.
is evidence based, then you have something to show an employer that this is the quality of my work. You see?
Yes.
So that way the employer knows exactly what he's getting for the value he's getting for his or her money.
Mhm.
So that
Mm-hmm.
is the real that I think that is the highlight of the program. The fact that you have your portfolio, you work with your portfolio has been reviewed by an assessor, you know
Right.
that what's in it is quality stuff, and you will
Right.
not and also to the phases, because you will not fail, but if you haven't actually gotten to the point where you can be certified, you can come back and go again and and revisit your certificate, your assessor, and get your certification. So it is not about fail or pass.
Failure, that's
It's
it.
about growth, and you grow at your own pace. So
Right,
that is the beautiful thing about that. You're not competing with
right,
anybody. You're growing at your own pace, and you see the development. And then somebody too can see your development from your level 1 to your level 2, so they know that that's somebody with potential.
right.
So it's really an exciting program.
Very much so.
Mhm.
And as you said, it's not about failure. So we
No.
as our instructor, our very competent instructor,
Mhm.
Mr. Abraham Dura, and his wife, Mrs. Joanne Dura, emphasized all the time. Nobody will be told you have failed, or sorry,
Exactly.
you can only get a certificate of participation, or you
Mhm.
just will not get a certificate at all. What you will be told is that you are either competent or you are not
Right,
yet.
That's
Yes,
competent.
not yet
Exactly.
competent. But it doesn't mean that you are a failure. You will not be a failure. You will actually be able, as you said, to come back and get that competence that you need
Mhm.
in order
Right.
to receive that certification. So we are heading in the right direction. Chief, we are in the process of ushering a new training cycle, and we are going to give a shot to some of our modules, giving a try, you could say, where we can take our trainees to an experience of trying to get them to at that level of being
Mhm.
TVET certified. We've getting some CVQs then in that case, and maybe it might not be CVQ as yet. It might be NVQ,
Mhm.
National
Yes.
Vocational Qualification.
Sure.
Steve, can you
Mhm.
speak a little bit about that and maybe give the folks a little bit of an idea of what are some of the modules that we're looking at offering, and if Chief leaves out anything, CC and Glenn, you should be on top of it like that. You're supposed to know them anyway. So, Mr. Can you give us a little bit of
Yeah,
info on that, Chief?
yeah. And as you make mention of that, let me
Oh,
say that
oh yeah. Why
a
is it
very,
doing this?
are you hearing me?
Yes, Glenn, we can hear your mic. So, yes,
Okay,
Chief, go ahead. Yes.
yeah,
I
because a
don't know
very
why.
important player.
I really don't know
Um,
why.
Glenn, we're hearing you. So, put your mic on mute if you're speaking out. Otherwise, please. I'll go ahead, Mr. Roach. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, so I was saying a very important player in the process is the Dominica
TVET
TVET
Council.
Council.
That's right.
And in fact, we have had, I think we had a symposium with them sometime last year.
Yes.
And we have had follow-up meetings with them. In fact, the process has started. They have asked us for a list of our of our instructors. They are also expecting to get a list of the trainees
Mm-hmm.
who will be engaged in a program. So as soon as we have completed the interview process and selected our trainees, that information will be sent to the TVET Council.
Yes.
As I mentioned earlier on, we are actually going to pilot it this training cycle started in September.
Yes.
And let me use that opportunity to say thanks to Mr. Packett, who has actually
Yes. Very much.
started developing the occupational
Mhm.
standards for some of those modules.
Yes.
Wow.
He has completed the one for the hospitality arts.
Yes.
We are working on the others. I mean, we have quite a number of modules that we're going to have this training cycle. As to whether we will be able to pilot all,
Right.
that will be left after we would have completed consultation with the TVET Council
Mhm.
and with Mr. Duran.
Yes.
We also hoping to engage the expertise of Mr. Duran during the pilot, who will actually be the main person driving that forward. And once that happens,
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost certain that the pilot will take place. That will include the assessment and certification of our training centers.
Yes.
It will include the certification of our instructors and subsequently the assessment and certification of the trainings. And what you all have done in during the 8 weeks is basically getting us started. So the
Yes.
facilitators, particularly our staff, who will be facilitating the social and related skill sessions,
Mm-hmm.
also will be very important in ensuring that the quality of what they do, which is the non-technical component of the program, is also at that level to complement what we are doing. Let me say that the permanent secretary and our minister,
Minister, yeah.
they're both very much on board with us, and
Yes.
they are going to ensure that this happens.
Yeah, we are really happy that our PS and our minister were able to give us the green light, Chief, and certainly you can see their commitment to having us or to seeing us get to that level, because I think more and more the understanding of the importance of getting our young people at the certification level that they need is becoming clearer. Yes, and and earlier Glenn said something, y'all, about that maybe TVET will become worldwide. But the fact is, TVET is worldwide. Right. TVET is in almost every continent. Or probably every, Mr. Dura would probably say yes, in every continent. And the problem is even in our region, like a number of the islands are already TVET certified. Yes, and we are the ones who are kind of behind right now, and we really want to get up to speed with being at that level where our people can benefit. So kudos to YDD. I mean, I'm a part of YDD, but I feel very proud to be part of an institution, an organization, a division of the public sector that is pioneering, or you could say channeling and pushing the need and the importance of such a program. Any of you, CC, Miss Annette, you want to weigh in on any of those points? Please. Silence. Delay.
Which point exactly are you asking, Miss?
Okay. So, we were just, Mr. Roach emphasized the whole importance of the TVET Council, and also the fact that our minister and the PS are very much on board, and we're saying that that TVET is not just regional, it's actually international. And that we really are the ones to get on board now with it, so that our young people can benefit as they need to.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. And I think too that, and I want to commend the PS and the minister for being on board with us as well, because once we have the head with us, you know that it's going to trickle down and it will be good for us. But what we need to do now is more awareness of the TVET program. Yes, we are going to have the modules, but we need the evidence that the TVET program is actually working in Dominica. So what we can do, we can continue to have our young people maybe do practical sessions at actual organizations where these employers, or potential employers, I should say, can see what we have to offer. After the training, normally we do 2 months of attachment. We can actually have the practical sessions during the training at the exact place of attachment. That way, before the attachment, we can have them showcase their skills at that place, so we know exactly that they will be attached once the training is complete.
So that's the goal.
That is evidence we can show.
Yes, certainly that's the goal. I mean, whenever we have a module, we really, before a module is even selected, I think we start looking at whether the young people will be able to get job placements at these institutions even prior to initiating them as well. So yes, you're on the right track, but also that the young people will practice what it is they have been trained in at those job placements, and not some other fill in the blank kind of thing. We need somebody to come and just go in. So can you send us a young person, although the young person had maybe some technical skill that they could be practice apart from doing filing. Maybe filing is something they can, because they do learn some level of filing in the business etiquette session, but that's not all they learn. They learn how to use the computer, computer lit modules. So how can they then utilize those skills that they have been trained in at the job placement? Okay, so that's what we would like to see.
Yes, Miss, I will also like to mention the open day that we normally have. The open day normally, for those who are skeptical about the training programs, especially now that we're going into TVET and CBET training, the skeptical ones will actually get to see the hands-on module, and they will actually get to see the trainees in action, and that too is a form of awareness. So that will actually motivate our young people around the island to actually come on board with the youth division.
Thank you. Miss Annette, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying that really it has to be a collaborative effort.
Definitely.
We must ensure that people like the DAIC, the Employers Federation, these people are really on board with us and understand what we're doing. Because
Right.
really, we are preparing people for their market, for them. And it
Yes.
has to be something that they buy into as well. You know, because they even,
Exactly.
I mean, with the way I look at it now, there are some people who they have that we might be able to train for them, you know,
Yes.
and get them back into the job market. Because honestly, a lot of employers want people to start working and they want to they want people to hit the ground running. So that is the opportunity. We really have to tell it to them. We have the minister, we have the PS, we need to have the private sector on board. And I think everything will work out well.
Yes.
And the
So
general
yeah,
public.
The general public has to be aware.
that's right.
I mean, and people have to know that there are other opportunities apart from academics. You
Very
can
much.
Right.
also have an opportunity to do a skill, and it's not a shameful thing. People
Right.
used to think before to be a plumber, to be an electrician. I mean, I mean, you need those people in society.
Well,
And there's a lot of
not just that, Miss Annette. We don't just need them. Guess what? They make more money than us.
I was about to say that.
Exactly.
I was about to say that. We just need to make sure that they have the documents to
Yes.
support their skills.
That's it. I can tell you, many
That's
young
right.
people have come up to me over the years working at the youth division and say, Miss, you're not making more money than you. And I'm
I
like, well,
know.
yes, well, that's great. I'm happy to know that you are actually making. And I'm sure Mr. Roach can attest to that. CC,
Yes.
we can all of
Yes.
us can attest to that. And sometimes,
Yes.
we train young people, even before this whole emphasis on CBET and TVET within the division started. We would train these young people or offer certain trainings, and we're saying, boy, I wish I could do this training. Look at where I
Yes.
am. I wish I could take advantage of that skill, because having a skill, I mean, once you have it, nobody can take it from you.
Exactly.
Nobody can take it from
Exactly.
you.
But Caesar, you know,
Yes.
my intention was to do the CBET training.
Yes, I
And,
remember that. Yes.
right. And then when I did the orientation, I and that was it.
Yes.
After that, it was like everything I had to be dealing with. I mean, and with my position, it's difficult for me to follow.
Yes.
So my intention is when I go on pre-retirement, I will have enough time to do the program. But I really want to be CBET certified. So
Certainly.
I have to find some time. I have to make the time to be CBET.
Yes. Well, I think I want to commend every single one of us, the participants, trainees, you could say, of that particular training. And Mr. Dura said that he has trained, he has taught, got other people CBET certified before, but nothing to that intensity that we have had, nothing at that magnitude of practicality, and even the assignments that we've had
Yes.
that we have to continue to get done. It's really at a high level. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity, but more so, me personally, I'm looking forward to utilizing that knowledge to contribute towards the development of more people, our young people. And I'm sure all of us, I'm speaking for every
Absolutely.
single one of our instructors, our computer instructors. I mean, they were on board. We had Mr. Major Richards, what we call him Major, Francis Richards, who is a wood art instructor at the state prison. He has been for us, and he continues to lobby for more of those trainings. So I know he'll be at us. And just everybody who has been on board, every single one of our youth officers who has been on board learning, the skills training team, we can't forget them, because they are the ones right at the helm. Packet, Mr. Rich mentioned Packet worked really, really hard, Julian Packet,
Yes.
to ensure
Yes,
that
he
this
did.
yes, and so
Kudos.
he deserves a kudos, right? For the hard work that he has done and continues to do, towards
Yes.
that as the instructor trainer in the skills training program. So we are very pleased, with the efforts so far. And I wanted to highlight before that, though, before we end, because our time is kind of drawing closer, but some of the basic essential elements when we speak of CBET and TVET, and one of them is that CBET, the competencies to be acquired are very carefully mentioned. One that is that they must be identified, they must be verified, as Mr. Rich emphasized, and they must be made public. That means they must be transparent. So it's not a case where we're trying to surprise our trainees. We're not trying to hide something from them and then to fail them. But no, going into our training, they should know what it is that we are going to teach them, what it is we expect them to get out of the training. So we are very we are going to be very transparent with them, so that they know what it is that they're working towards. Also, the criteria and the conditions for assessing the learner achievement are that they are based on specific competencies, as was mentioned. They are based on business or industry standards. So it's not no peer thing, but business and industry, and any industry that you can think about, you can go and get the competency standards for them and be able to apply them. And also they are explicitly stated and explained to learners in advance of their assessment. So again, even if they're going to be assessed, it's not about failing them. They would know what they're going into. Also, it's an instructional program and it's designed to help learners achieve each specific competency to provide for different student learning styles. Yes, that is so important, you all. Different student learning styles and provide a range of student abilities. You all remember the different learning styles that Mr. Jira emphasized? Yes. Or remember anyone now? Do you want to throw it out? Cici, I'm putting you on this spot. Any Miss Annette, learning style.
You have those people who learn from, who are visual learners. You have those, they are tactile.
That's right.
Right. And you see, the thing about it is, the good thing that with our first session was that Mr. Dura used all these styles.
Everything.
And we did not even recognize, because every single person in the classroom was able to achieve because of this fact that he was able to switch his style. So that is the other good thing about this program. You know, it accommodates, it takes care of everybody. So it's accommodating to everyone. Yeah.
And it's really about letting every trainee know that he or she is equal in the class, that no one person supersedes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's based on respect. It's based on respect. And Cici, you use the terminology or the acronym RISE. Can you just maybe say what RISE stands for as it pertains to us empowering our trainees going forward?
Yes. RISE is actually some core values that we use, and this is respect, integrity, service, and excellence, and that's what we are looking for in our training.
Right. That's right. Thank you so much. So yes, there is so much we can say, but before I take your closing remarks, everyone, I kind of want to emphasize the trainings that we are going to be offering in the different locations. And Cici, if I miss anything, Mr. Roach, if I miss any one of them, you all can probably help me because I don't have it written in front of me. But you mentioned hospitality arts. We are advertised well. Registration should have been closed, but I'm sure in some locations, we still need more people. In the north, right here in Portsmouth, 3 modules will be held. So young people from the north, the west, the northeast, those of you from close proximity, you can take advantage of these upcoming modules. The hospitality arts, that's going to be held at Portsmouth at the Calls Center. We are partnering with the Calls. That's a center where adolescents learn to love and serve. We are partnering them to offer hospitality arts and computer literacy within that facility, because we don't have a center of our own at this time, post-Maria, within the Northern District. But we are partnering with Calls to hope to utilize the building in order to train young people. So if you're interested in computer literacy and hospitality arts, please, within the northwestern area, zone northeast as well, please get to your youth officer. Your youth officer is Wallace Williams in the north, and Cecilia Christmas on the west, Glen Louis, who you just saw earlier, on the northeast, and Julina as well in the northeast, Julina Joseph. You can contact them, get a form, or call the Youth Development Division to get a form, come there to get registered for the training, because very soon we will have an interview. We also have in the north, in Portsmouth, woodwork, and young people who would like to learn the art of woodwork, the skill, please come on board, register. Parents, if you know them, friends, tell them about it so they can take advantage. In Roseau, we also have computer literacy. We also have computer literacy and hospitality arts as well in Roseau. On the Eastern District, we will be having, that is in Castle Bruce, we will be having building maintenance, yes. And young people from also the East can benefit from that, and the Southeast. And in the Southeast, in La Plaine, we are looking at electrical wiring. So we are offering a variety of skills in different parts of the island. Even if it's not in your district, if you can get to one of these districts, to do the training, please come to the youth division on Monday morning. Quickly sign up because you could get an opportunity to be interviewed and selected for one of those training programs. I hope I get them all to see.
You actually forgot the West, St. Joseph, computer literacy.
Way.
I think that was deliberate.
I think so too.
I think it was deliberate.
Thank you so much, Chief, for covering me up in that way.
You're welcome.
So go ahead, say it again.
Yes, it's actually computer literacy being offered at the St. Joseph Resource Center.
Yes.
And applicants should be within 16 to 35 years old.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes, that's very important. Thanks for saying that. 16 to 35 for the computer literacy, but for the other modules that I've mentioned, the hospitality arts, as well as the electrical wiring, the building maintenance, these modules and woodwork, these modules will require people are targeting people between the ages of 16 to 30. 16 to 30, and that is because we are partnering with DFID, and that is the specification of the age range that they're looking for the training. So we have to kind of stick to that to meet our numbers as well. Okay, guys? So hope the young people out there are going to take advantage of what it is that the youth division is offering. We are truly, truly working on. Someone is asking Mr. Roach, and I know the time is coming for us to wrap up, but when we'll train in the back in Granby, the computer program and auto mechanic was a great thing for the youth from the South. We have a number of youth now wishing to be involved in these programs. Chief, can you give them a little response to that, please?
Yeah, the main reason why we had to put a number of our programs on hold is because both the Youth Enterprise Center and the Youth Center are under rehabilitation. Actually, we just got another chunk of money from the government to continue the rehabilitation of those two centers.
Awesome.
So I'm hoping by mid next year that the renovation can be completed. And I think the person mentioned auto mechanic and computer literacy. These are two programs that we really want to offer because we want to make sure that we recommission the computer training center, the center, and also auto mechanic. These are programs that will actually just be at the time Hurricane Maria. These are programs that we were supposed to have going on at the Granby Youth Center.
Okay.
So as soon as the construction works are completed, and I'm hopeful that by mid next year we can resume a number of our youth skills training program as well as the youth centerized skills program.
Yes, so important. Yes,
and then as well as use of the Center for Recreational activities.
Yes,
and also very importantly the Enterprise Center for young people who want to start small businesses as an incubator for them.
Indeed. So great stuff. Yes, Miss Annette, go ahead. I see you want to say something.
Yeah, I understood from one of the trainers that you also offer a night course in computer literacy.
Yes.
So it will start in September. You mentioned that for the Roseau area?
Yes.
And the age range was not normal 18 to 35, was it?
35.
Yes. Still 35. Yeah.
So I cannot come to literacy.
Now, what we say, let me
let the chief answer.
Our target is 16 to 35.
Yes.
However, if we have space, we take older persons.
Okay.
Yes. The thing is, go ahead.
I can always compress my age, it's not a problem.
You put it in a zip folder. You put your age in a zip folder. Yeah, but truthfully, that's what we do. And youth division is not known to really just turn people away if there is a space. But considering COVID-19, I must say that we are really at the place where numbers are important because we have had to cut our numbers because we have to social distance. There is so less people in a class, but you can try, you can apply, and you just might get in, as Mr. Root said, based on numbers. And usually the evening class truly attracts people who are employed and they can't come to the class during the day, and so they need to fill in that during the evening. So it's not impossible, as Mr. Roach mentioned. It's not impossible.
Okay. All
Miss
right.
I wanted to highlight Miss Cynthia Prince, who is viewing, and one of the things that she says there, we at Calls are so grateful for the partnership with the Youth Division, and she said we can't wait for the new term. She works at the Calls Training Center as well, and we are really really happy to be partnering with them. Yes.
So let me just add, Caesar, that
Yes, sir.
we have had partnership with Calls for many years now.
Yes.
But what we have done is to take that partnership to another level.
Another level, yes.
I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we actually formalized a memorandum of understanding.
Yes.
Which was signed by the chairman of the board and the
permanent secretary. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Chief, for that. So it's a very formal agreement right now, and I think going forward in the public service and even in the private sector, I mean, the need for collaborative work in order for us to achieve the goals that we're all looking for and to avoid duplication. These are the things that we have to do. So commendations. Okay, my friends, we could have sat there and speak about Youth Division and the CBET and TVET and CBQ for the entire night. As you know, we've only touched the tip of the iceberg. We can't even get to the depth of TVET and CBET, and I'm sure we will probably revisit this on another angle in some future program. But I would like to give each of you the opportunity now to give us your final word. But I will start with CC, then Miss Annette, and I'll give the Chief the final to wrap up on first tonight. CC, it's yours.
First of all, Miss Paul, I want to say thank you for having us on this evening. It was a very interesting program and actually giving us the opportunity to air out there what we offer at the Youth Division. That was amazing. I must say though, and I suggest to you that we should have it more often, especially with the youth officers, so we can let the districts know what's going on at the Youth Division and on the districts.
Hopefully the Youth Division can sponsor my program.
Mr. Roach is on, so he should. So thanks again to Mr. Durant.
CC, that was a side comment. The Chief wasn't there when I said that, okay? And
okay, all right.
I'm not saying that with my heart of assistant chief right now. I'm only saying that as Caesar Paul was the community dialogue. That's my
and you're getting me to second it.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to continue by saying thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Durant for being such wonderful instructors. They have indeed affected our thinking. I'm using his words. They have indeed affected our thinking, and we are hoping to actually pass that on to our.
Whoa, your mic is muted. Okay, go
Sorry
ahead.
about that. So I was saying we are hoping to actually pass that on to our trainees when the new term begins. So thanks again, and I'm hoping to use all of this knowledge, all of this rounding up, to actually come back and move forward and pull along my young people with me. So thank you and good night to the viewers, and thanks for coming.
All right. Thank you, Cece. Miss Annette.
Welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Cesarina, for having me. And thanks to all the viewers for signing in, tuning in. Mr. Packet, Mr. Roach, for agreeing for my participation in the CBET program, certification program. It was indeed a wonderful opportunity. I was so humbled by the people that I met, and I was exhilarated. The program itself was a fantastic program. I can only say that we have just begun. That's all I can say. We have only just begun, and there is just so much opportunity out there for the youth. I've seen that the youth division now can move from just strength to strength. There's a lot of passion there, there's a lot of commitment, there's a lot of dedication. You have great leaders, and I mean, the sky is the limit. The sky is really the limit. You have the support now of the minister and the permanent secretary, so we just have to make it happen. And again, Mr. Durant and Mrs. Durant, wonderful. I will never forget those last 8 weeks.
True.
So thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Chief, it's all yours.
Thanks, Susan, for having me on virtual community dialogue.
Yes.
I must say it was a pleasure being on Influences program.
Yes.
I have to say that the discussion, I see quite a number of comments from persons. Listen, you seem to have a quite large following, Caesar,
Thank you,
and
sir.
I realize your following will grow. So be assured, I cannot assure you that the Youth Development Division will sponsor
Yes.
virtual community dialogue,
Right.
but what we will ensure is to make sure that the young people are aware of the program and they follow this program, because I see that program going places and also creating opportunities for young people.
Yes.
Let me say that while we are taking these initiatives, we have to be mindful of the challenges
Yeah.
of the normal. Yes, we are going to attempt to resume our training programs, but we have to make sure that everything is in place to accommodate our young people in a safe environment, and to make sure that we adhere to the protocols from the Ministry of Health, to ensure the safety of the
Yes.
young people, the safety of our instructors, and the safety of persons who come, who visit the training program. So we really have a lot of work to do, and also the whole idea of going virtual is
Yeah.
something we from the youth division we have to look at and see how much we can explore and exploit, what it is that we can do to make sure that we do not allow COVID-19 to stop us from passing on the
True.
information that we have on
True.
to our young people. So we have a lot of work to do, and Cizo, I think you are the right person at the right place at the right time to make sure
Thank you,
those
sir.
things happen.
Well, thank
Again,
you, sir.
thanks
I don't know
for.
I don't know what that means, but thank you very much. Okay, and I truly want to say thanks to all three of you and Glenn. Unfortunately, we lost Glenn after a while. He's having some technical challenges, but I'm sure he would have some very strong comments as well, and inspiring comments to give to young people before leaving us tonight. But we lost him, but we're grateful for his contribution earlier. And I want to thank all of you. I'm humbled that you have accepted to be on this program and to share with the public what we are doing at the youth division, and the road that we want to take towards empowering, as Cici likes to say, empowering our young people. I want to remind all of you folks who are listening and viewing to tune in tomorrow, God spare, at 2 p.m. DBS Radio for our Youth Vibes program. The youth division hosts a Youth Vibes program every Saturday, well, as many Saturdays as possible with DBS. And on DBS Radio, and you can tune in at what, 104.1 or 104.7 or 88.1 based on your location, 103.5 I think as well, wherever you are. So tune in at 2 p.m. for our Youth Vibes program, where you will hear more about this program probably, and also from some other graduates, people who will graduate from this training that we spoke about, and also some of our plans going forward. I also want to extend happy birthday to Wayne Fontaine, who is one of our officers. Yes, today is Wayne's birthday. Miss Annette's favorite person, by the way. Yes, because she was looking for him.
Happy birthday.
Yes, she was looking for Wayne when they asked her to find a favorite person the other day. Yes, and he was not yet there. So he missed that. But happy birthday to Wayne. From all of us at the youth division, we want to wish you all the best and enjoy your year. So thank you all, everybody. Thanks for those of you who have been following us tonight. We really appreciate you. Please share the word and tell other people about what the youth division is doing. It won't be the last time that you will hear from us. Cici, I hope to take you up on that challenge, and the other officers, if they are willing, that we can interview them, that they can share a little bit more about their individual works, what it is that they're doing in their districts, and to really zoom on the positive work that we are doing as a youth division. And as young people, because most of you officers are young. I don't see myself as young anymore, but so thank you all very much. God bless. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Miss. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Yes, and as we leave, I like to do this. as I signing out. God bless you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And stay positive. Let's all keep safe. Let's keep praying for our nation and for the world, for protection, not just from COVID, but from storms, natural disasters, anything that's negative. Let's stay positive, okay? And let's keep safe. Remember the protocols, the health protocols that we can keep safe and keep our nation safe. God bless you. Have a splendid night. C's signing off.